What is up, guys? We are live. I'll be bringing in the man himself, Mr. Jonathan Holden, the man of the hour. We're going to be interviewing. But if you're here, let me know you're here, hashtag live. And as you hear something you like, or if you have any questions, drop those in the comments. Get interactive here because we're going to be talking to somebody who literally crushed it during a pandemic. 84K is not chump change. A lot of people probably won't make that in a year, but he did it in a very short period of time. And we're going to dive into those details. So if you're here live, hashtag live, here replay, hashtag replay, drop where you're watching from. As Jonathan jumps on, he's about to hop on, be live as he gets to a computer. He thought we were doing Zoom and he was going to hit the mobile app, but we are going to be going live soon. So real context here is Jonathan's one of our GSD program members, just fucking crushed it. I mean, just took everything and just went with it, got through all the frustrations that come with starting a new offer, and just leveled the hell up. And now he's going to be one of our guests here and inspiring y'all who need help to get to that next level. So if you guys need any help, we're actually offering 15-minute free triage calls. So if you want to jump on a call where you can just get unstuck in any kind of bottleneck that you feel you have, whether it's sales, appointment setting, what traffic sources you should use, and how to get on sales calls as soon as humanly possible, even if it's sales calls. Like I know that one of my friends, Joel Kaplan, he's really out there and killing it right now. He talks about ask me anything. I'll even show you my bank account. So I'll even do the same here too. So you know you're talking to the right person. Anyways, like I said, drop where you're from, and I'm going to have Ben tag people who wanted to be on here. So Ben, go ahead and do that. If you don't mind, tag people on the live. And here comes our main man, Jonathan. And there he is. Can you hear me okay, Jonathan? Not much. I'm gonna bring you in the stream, all right? Boom. I like your setting, dude, and the haircut. It looks good.
This is fresh. This is like
yeah, I can tell, man.
no more than an hour. You got to get that. They can't get really good on the sides because you got to wear the masks. So.
That's true. Yeah,
but,
I mean, I haven't done much with my hair yet, so I'm in case a second wave comes in, I might have a ponytail when we come out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I set her like a new record from I think I went almost 3 months without a haircut when we were in like crazy lockdown mode. But yeah, you know, I'll take these haircuts even if they're not the best these days, you know.
Yeah, hey, you look good though. But anyways, all right, we got him here, the $84,000 pandemic man. We're gonna be going over some stuff. So whoever is here, just drop 84K in the comment. Every one of you guys, Rohit and whoever. I can't see names right now, so whoever's on there, drop 84K. We're gonna get into this. So I did a little preface before you came on. I kind of rambled for 2 minutes here, but I'm just gonna give a quick little recap here. You started off in one of our programs. You came from another program that you were already in. And I want to kind of just give like a little history of like, how did our program help you kind of set yourself up towards getting to this kind of breakout moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's everyone in business can get into like weird ruts, you know what I mean? And kind of where you guys, first of all, you know, I appreciate you and Cody so much, and the whole Get Shit Done group and team. It's been a huge, you know, it's been great to have, you know, be around like-minded individuals and just basically have you and Cody's like, you know, attention to help us, you know, at a given moment to get over like those challenges and bottlenecks and obstacles in our business. But I mean, I think the big thing is just perseverance and like confidence. I know a lot, especially when you're getting into sales and kind of, I can tell the story a little bit to kind of tell people like kind of what I've built online, but especially in sales, you know, when you're first getting sales, you don't have a pipeline, you're cold calling, you're cold emailing, you know, you're filling up that pipeline and, you know, you're getting a lot of no's. You're getting more no's, as you know, especially at the beginning. You're getting your offer dialed in. So I think just, you know, the confidence and just the energy and the passion that you and Cody bring to the group is amazing, and just kind of lit a fire underneath my ass to to gain momentum, and then I kind of caught that momentum with this. This was in e-commerce sales, but because of the stuff that I was doing through your program for basically an agency within my online business, kind of came to an abrupt halt because I had a restaurant show. I was interviewing restaurant owners here in the Boston area and then selling them a marketing package directly designed for restaurants and brick and mortar businesses. And as you know, COVID came in like a tsunami wave and just literally had different plans for me. So that all kind of came on pause. And then I caught the wave of a physical product, doing e-commerce still within my business. It's actually how I got started online with e-commerce. Kind of, pulled out a play of Belichick's handbook and kind of, did a juke and a jive and kind of redirected my energy temporarily to some physical products and e-commerce sales.
Yeah, real quick here, I want to stop there for a second. We're going to be doing some New England Patriot references. So for those of you guys that don't like the Patriots, that's okay, because the juice will still come out.
Oh, yeah, bring on the hate. We don't have Brady Grandpa Brady. We don't have him anymore.
Yeah, we won't go there just yet. This isn't a political debate. We don't want to get anybody up in arms here, but we will go by, I'll tell you, hashtag Bill in the future. So we don't even have to say the man's last name because there's plenty of Bills out there. But we're going to be, this is Brady-like when he was in his prime, what Jonathan's been able to accomplish in a short period of time. But one thing I wanted to kind of talk about too is like when you and I started speaking about like the beginning stages, you were in another program for restaurant marketing. And I remember one of the things I told you early on is like, I don't like that model of not asking people to work with you. It was more of a long type of sales play where it's like interview for free, and then maybe they'll work with you and make it so valuable they'll ask you to do business. My was the exact opposite, like charge them for the fucking interview.
A lot of this.
Yeah, dude, we went into saying charge these people for the damn interviews, put it on your Boston show because you're giving them so much value. Then you filter out the tire kickers versus the people who are truly interested in growing the business, which were those restaurants. So you can then go back and have a more mature conversation about, hey, look, if you liked what I did for you on the interview and got you 20,000 plus views and put you in front of all my local attendees, well, if we were going to work together, here's what that would look like. So that was like how we kind of started our, like before you even signed up for the GSD, I think that was like, I just said, fuck all that. Like make money, dude. Like if they're getting a ton of value, give them a really valuable in the door offer, a foot in the door offer, the downsell.
Yeah. And up until I joined your program, honestly, I was running around Boston like a chicken with my head cut off, providing immense amount of value looking back. I did have to do a couple episodes to kind of, to get the show and, to get some momentum, proven concept, get a little bit of sizzle in the Boston area. But then, yeah, I mean, it was a huge game changer just charging for that. And now a little bit of money. When I was hopping on the phone with restaurants, it was basically like close time, and it's basically got rid of all the tire kickers that wouldn't even be interested in my marketing services and the value that I could provide to them for a long-term relationship. So basically having that, it was a $297 price point for me to come in and feature them in an episode of Boston Eats. Was a huge game changer, and I worked with you and Cody, got that script dialed in. That script is freaking lethal to the point where it's about it's almost like a 50% close rate. Now I do have a Facebook page and a brand that I've been building since 2015 here in the Boston area. That's now gotten to the point where people actually know the name, know the brand. Does make closing easier, but I mean, it's all things people can do. I didn't have any of this, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, and that, like when you mentioned the script being lethal, I mean, that's all the difference in the world. Without a lethal script, regardless of the brand or not, it doesn't really fucking matter, right? Because if people don't want to talk back to you, it's a dialogue. If people want to talk to you, then you actually have a prospect. You definition of a lead and a prospect is different. A lead is somebody who expressed interest to you, and a prospect is somebody who's actually talking back and forth with you, which you were able to accomplish. And if I'm not mistaken, like we had all these back and forths with like scripting and what to say and Instagram DMing and kind of getting in the eyes and ears of their inboxes. So we called it, I think, DM for dollars. And you finally got it dialed in, and fuck, the frustration was all worth it in the end, because you have to be frustrated in the beginning because you have a high demand for yourself in the beginning and you're not reaching your goal as fast as you like. But then you finally fucking got it, and all that frustration led to that peak performance moment where things got easier. Like taking a Limitless pill, that movie Limitless. Yeah. It's like all of a sudden you're just seeing stuff in slow motion before it even occurred. And it's kind of like almost unfair that you have the cheat code.
Yeah. So something, at the beginning of the year, I was listening to like Gary V when I would, take the bus in and out of the city every day. I would crush Gary V, and he said something really like profound that just like stuck with me. And he said, once you host the party, you win. So meaning when you host the party of a podcast or a video podcast or a show, just like we're doing right now, right? And the example he made was like, I think he was like, if you founded or started like the Connecticut Business Show. And I was like, oh, wow, that's like fun. It was just funny. The example he used was like pretty much spot on to what I was doing here in Boston. So I was like, damn, I should create a Boston food show that I can use of a top of funnel, feature restaurant owners, basically a way for me to, have a little bit of money, start dripping in, create a relationship, create a trust, create a kick-ass little episode that we could promote to our Boston audience, and then the restaurant can promote, and then basically just kind of like become their friend, see what they need help with, and help them, but having that system in place of the prospecting of, that I got it all dialed in was, reaching out, having a VA reach out through Instagram and Facebook. For us, Instagram was like sometimes getting responses within like 10 minutes to an hour and 8 out of 10 times for restaurants, it's somebody of higher management, the owner, co-owner, owner's wife. For Instagram restaurants, don't know why. Restaurant groups, a little bit more tricky. It's usually like a marketing manager or whatever, but it really, it was just crushing it. Facebook messages was crushing it too. You got to watch out of how many messages you send per an hour, blah, blah, blah. But, we got that dialed in, and was just pushing everyone to, basically a quick phone call, pushing them to my calendar link, hop on a phone call, ask a couple questions, see if they're even a good match to be featured on the Boston Eats Food Show, and then kind of doing the close, getting that credit card on the phone, once again, from you and Cody, barking at me, no, you need to get that credit card on the phone. None of this, let me think about it. Let me send you a link to the invoice. And it did, it was a little, first couple times it was like, it was a little weird, but then after you do it, and it worked, oh yeah, let me get your credit card. You're like, oh shit, this works. So, but yeah, you got to have confidence and be persistent, get those offers dialed in, and then ask for the freaking credit card, because you can't get paid if you don't get those 16-digit numbers.
Yeah, and repeat them back to the people too, just because you probably got one digit wrong, just as an FYI.
Yeah, I actually,
they sit in, but yeah, like everybody here. I mean, I see that there's a bunch of guys here. Just drop #CC for credit card, because a deal's not a deal till it's a deal, and that simply means payment goes through, your onboarding call is completed, you actually fulfill the services and start building a relationship. Because that's what the difference is between us and everybody else is. I hear so many times people be like, oh, I got the deal. I'm like, cool, did you bill it? no, we didn't get the credit card. They're talking to their partner to get it. I'm like, well, then you don't have a deal, my friend, because nobody committed. Verbal doesn't mean actual commitment. It's drawing a line in the sand, people committing with money exchanging hands, and then they agreed to transform. So just for everybody, hashtag CC in the cards. And maybe through this conversation, I'm going to convince Jonathan here to give a little sneak peek of what one of those messages may have said in a high level, or maybe exactly on how he was able to get some leads if he's willing to share. So I'll butter him up through this process.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll share the message. That's much simpler than the message got simpler and simpler
yeah.
after the test.
You had big blocks, man. I remember it was like a big fucking bulky text. I'm like, dude, I don't even want to read it. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, definitely simplify it. Have these messages be super easy for people to read and consume, and then usually end with a question that doesn't trigger just a yes or a no for an answer.
Yeah. You ask questions you want the answer to.
Exactly.
And if it's not, if you don't want to know, don't ask a question that one of the options is a no.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, let's jump into the pivot here. Well, actually, anything else, like before we get into it, anything else that, let's just say somebody in this watching this or will watch this in the future on a replay, what do you tell them if they were considering joining our program?
I mean, you'd be stupid not to. It's learning from you and just like you and Cody's knowledge, especially basically all the being in the agency game for how long have you, since like 2000 or 2000? When did you start?
Not that old, dude. I got gray hairs, but I'm not that bad. But no, I'm just kidding. I've been 2004 is when I
2004. Okay.
Started, yeah.
And then all of your all of the work that you did at, over at realtor.com, being able to, ride off the coattails of all that knowledge and all the testing that you did on there is just amazing. And then obviously Cody just takes like, data and insight to a whole another level, it's just great. So it's a great group to be a part of, and being surrounded, your environment and being surrounded by the right people is so important. So if you can't like physically be around people, you need to be in like online masterminds and in meetings and be doing virtual stuff like that.
100%. I appreciate that. So we're going to dive into it. So for those of you guys that are here, like we're going to give some Boston love right here because he's going to spill the beans on some stuff that will help you guys. So I want to get as many comments so we can reach more people in this group as they jump into the group. So if you guys can write hashtag Boston, and let's just write it 2-3 times. I don't care. I just want as many comments and likes and hearts as possible. So this can actually reach more people in the group. And you got a Bang drink. You asked me to go get one, so I wrote Bang on my Starbucks right here. Can you see that?
Have you ever had one of these?
You know what? I have not yet. I bought like 3 or 4 of them, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know. I just don't drink. My only energy drink is like Starbucks.
Yeah. Starbucks has been kind of challenging over the past couple months to get because of, at least up here in New England, their hours are like they all close early now, and the drive-through lines are like ridiculous. I just don't have the patience for that. So
I bought a French press and like pounds of Starbucks coffee, and I still haven't opened them yet. So I'll boycott Starbucks pretty soon here and save some money and save some time too. But let's dive into this sucker. Let's go into the pivot. So before you were running a lot of e-commerce stuff. And that's where you pivoted back into, you saw an opportunity that just came out. So I'll let you kind of take the mic and run with it.
Yeah. So just for everyone like watching, so I've kind of like, since about 2014, I've created the largest community of Bostonians online, right? So I need to give a shout out to Trey Llewellyn. He's a good friend of mine. I was actually one of his first students that he took underneath his wing back in 2014. And he's basically taught me everything he knows, and now I know about finding physical products and building out sales funnels, building out massive databases, and how to effectively scale and source physical products so that you don't have to touch anything. So get all the systems in place. So I got taught, back in 2014 and 15, the importance of building a community that knows, likes, and trusts you, and then to kind of dig your well before you're thirsty, sort of speak, right? So, I chose Boston as my, quote unquote niche because, I love Boston. My family's all from the city. My mom and my dad both grew up in the city. They met in the city. Tons of aunts and uncles. So instead of going to try to build a brand off of another brand where there's a lot of gray water of, copyright infringement stuff of trying to create a brand off of the Red Sox or the Patriots or the Bruins, I chose the city of Boston as a whole. So since, over the past 5 years, I've created a community that's close to almost 200,000 loyal and passionate Bostonians, and it's hands down, one of the most, energetic and best communities online for all things Boston. Not backed by a news outlet or a magazine or a media outlet that's basically trying to force their media or news or political propaganda down your throats. It's it's just all fun stuff for news, entertainment, stuff that's going on in the city, and then Boston, fun Boston products for you and the family. So I've always been doing that, and once this pandemic hit, I think it was towards the end, the beginning of April, I saw, obviously people were getting scared. Every state and city was basically in lockdown mode. So as I do all the time, and it's just another great thing of building an online community on Facebook and on Instagram and having an email list, is that you can test you can always ask the community what they want for products. They'll tell you, and then you go out your due diligence and get that product, source that product, export it into the country, and then build out sales funnels, and then basically ship it to them. So a light bulb kind of went off that I was like, oh wow, a lot of people are home, they're scared, they're looking for stuff to do, they're looking for an escape. So I'm like, what does that? Well, puzzles, right? Puzzles and board games. So I posted a Boston puzzle that it was off of another website, right? I do this all the time. I'll go and find products just to see if the concept of that product is something that the community wants. So I went in, I found one of the major puzzle manufacturers in the country, found a Boston puzzle, posted it. Hey, this Boston puzzle is a great way to stay busy inside. Comment yes if you want to buy one, right? And this was at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I was ready to go to bed, and just the amount of comments started pouring in at record pace. And I was like, huh, this is interesting. So then I went back, got the puzzle, threw 100% markup on it, threw it on my website, generated a link, right, for my Shopify store, just to see if we could get some sales rolling in, right? Commented, on a couple hundred comments. I do this, not a VA or anything. Commented back on a couple hundred comments and had a couple hundred sales within an hour. So I was like, all right, this thing's got a lot of, we're on the right track for a winning product. And then from there, built out sales funnels. I was able to partner up with actually one of the largest puzzle companies in America to give me wholesale pricing. They're actually up here in New England. Some of my orders were so big that it got the actual owner of the puzzle company to call me directly and be like, so after his company approved me of wholesale, a couple of days later, I was putting in some of the, biggest invoices that he'd seen for like one person. So it was pretty funny, and that's just that's honestly the power of finding a winning product to the right audience, and and selling it through sales funnels. I don't sell. I never send traffic to a Shopify store or your normal e-commerce add to cart, because I building sales funnels through ClickFunnels will always get me at least a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, sometimes even a 10x conversion on the order form. And then on the back end, I route the product to Shopify for fulfillment and shipping to who's ever doing that.
Dude, that's awesome. So I'll do a recap, and I have some questions too. So basically, you have this big, huge group that you've been working on that was like completely untapped, not being monetized to its full potential.
No, it's always being monetized.
Oh, it's all okay.
This was just like a product that just friggin'
just took off.
Just took off gangbusters. Also the environment too, right? People's environment changed, right? Going back to the environment, people's environment changed. They couldn't go anywhere. Record-breaking attention on for e-commerce sales, and attention on devices. People locked in their houses, looking for fun ways and things to do with the family, rather than just keep freaking watching mainstream media.
Right. But I like what you mentioned about like you just simply ask the community.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I don't really do a lot of thinking anymore. I just ask.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So those of you guys that like are offering products or services, a lot of the times is like when we build products and services, we're building it because we think the market wants that, and then we push the product. So we're quote unquote product pushers, or service-based pushers. So when you ask the client what they want, and then you give them what they want, it makes it a lot easier because they already told you. So you can kind of, if for those of you guys out there, like you may want to kind of like rethink what you're selling if people aren't buying it. Because there's a reason they're not buying it, because they just don't want it, or you're asking incorrectly. So that's one thing I just wanted to touch out there. So keep going. Like, so you sourced this amazing idea, you came up with puzzles, you asked the community, they said yes. You started selling this thing. You partnered with a big guy in puzzle making. Like, what did the puzzles have on it? Like, what did you?
Yeah, so for Boston, they offered, since like the puzzle company is a New England company, they had a good amount of like New England, Massachusetts, Boston puzzles. So one, they have a couple titles that are Boston. One's like a Fenway Park one. One's a collage of all like the different attractions and statues and big Boston landmarks and attractions, kind of like a collage. Another one is kind of a drawing of the Boston waterfront. So there's all types of like different puzzles, and it's a great. The puzzle company has been in business for I think almost 30 years. So and they offer like really good wholesale pricing to their partners. So it was kind of also people already knew of the brand that we were pushing. And it was just, a great, just a really good partnership, because that knows how to build out sales funnels, effectively, build, drive traffic, through, Instagram and Facebook, can absolutely, get sales cranking for, through the door, and having, a puzzle manufacturer be like, how the hell are you doing this? Because everyone, just thinks like e-commerce is like a Shopify or WooCommerce, and you get, launch ads and you just launch it to your website, which, as you know, there's just way too many distractions when you blast traffic to a website, in the top nav, bottom nav, sidebar, too many bells and whistles to have your customer veer off track. That's why I send all my traffic to a sales sales funnels.
Man, that's so important. Like, I mean, knocking it out to a landing page, because like you nailed it. Like all those you just mentioned every distraction that most people will give the potential prospect a reason to leave.
Yeah.
Because human mind wants to, first of all, naturally procrastinate. Number two is you're giving them an outlet to do just that. And then they're going to be focusing on everything but buying what you sell, whether it's a free consultation, webinar, inquiry on your website. Have an offer, whether it's organic or paid, have it go to a landing page that's focused on that offer that supplements why they should take that next logical step with you, and make it frictionless as humanly possible rather than give them outlets to intentionally leave you. Because then, no matter what, like your retargeting may still work when you target them with ads or emails or messages after the fact. It just may not be as effective
Hmm.
because you just made it okay to make decisions later.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And then also I was getting slick with with capturing the prospect's email before they even got kicked over to the order form, which allowed me to throw them into like a 7-day email follow up to keep pushing them and enticing them with scarcity and in emails to kick them back to the order form to complete their purchase.
All right, so I have a question in here, and it's coming from a Browns fan. So don't stomp on him too hard. He's a Browns fan, okay? So this is for you, Garrett. Let me go back to your question. I was just kind of scrolling up the comments. Okay, so he says start a niche group, find products, gauge the interest, and then promote, and then handle the back end. That was a question and a question mark at the end.
Yeah, so I mean, uh, there's kind of I always I think building a Facebook page is the best out of the gates, right? It's nearly impossible to build a Facebook page organically with the right people, right? It's a little bit more easier on Instagram, but Facebook is, it's just a gold mine for the data and the insights that it'll give you, and then just all the capabilities that you can do with like posting and asking and getting data and stuff. So I think building a Facebook page to at least like at least a couple thousand, likes, and there's ways that there's ways to get targeted likes, through Facebook like ads. They still you can still run them. You can still get likes, for as little as like a nickel or a dime, and have that community being built of people for in your target interest and our niche. So building that out, and then step two is try to build that email list as quickly as can. Have some fun ways, stuff like that. Posting organically on the page, building a little. Do the ask you can I do it right on the Facebook page, and then I'll basically like screenshot whatever graphic I did on Facebook. I'll go through it on Instagram, and then basically I'm just watching the comments and responding back to the comments, and then through email too. You can send an email and direct them to that Facebook post, or you can just do a really quick Google a free Google form.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. So how big is your Facebook page right now? How many followers?
It is. I
You're
think
like
it's
well over 100,000, right?
It is. I'll give you a live update. It is 123,252 followers, all real Boston followers, and I actually paid with my own money to build this community to around 40,000 likes. And then since 40,000 likes, basically after the first year, I stopped it and just consistently posting content every day. I've organically built it from 40,000 to 123,000. And then also cross promoted other channels, the email, and then also I built my Instagram off of the Facebook page. So I haven't paid, other than when I do run ads on Instagram, but I didn't pay anything to build my Instagram community, and it's at 19.8. So hopefully by this weekend we can hit 20,000. That'll be kind of cool on Instagram. But
That's awesome.
but having these communities, man, at your fingertips is just so important. I mean, dude, I just try to uh, it's build a community, have the community know you. It's the same thing like in sales. You know what I mean? Know, like, and trust, right? Know, like, and trust through video and photos and blogs and writing, and actually connect, ask questions, actually connect with these people. There's real people behind the like, right? The like is a person. So start just really being a real human. You gotta put yourself out there a little bit, come out from behind the curtain, and then and just have fun and be real with the people, and just keep asking what they want, and then go and serve your community for that product and service that they need, that they want, and they need help with.
Yeah, I mean, just to back into the context. So, Jonathan, give me a description about the page itself.
For Purely Boston, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the largest community of Bostonians online, and we, promote, deals, discounts, happenings, and products.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it's a community page. So for like if you guys are in a different city, let's say in Texas, you might have and you have a niche that you want to serve. You can say like Houston Hunters page or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're attracting your niche of who you want to offer services to. What Jonathan has done is he built a broad community, right? It's pretty broad. It's like not niche specific. It's Boston, everything
around the city, and the people the people that were born and raised, worked, went to school, people that are Bostonians,
Yeah, so now he can now ask them questions like puzzles. Like, who would have thought that fucking puzzles of all things would have been a winning home run? And then after this, it could be something else. More, you can go back into the restaurant biz and pivot because he got to know his audience, and they're highly engaged. But it's interesting that, do you have a group yet? Like a Facebook group?
Yeah, I have a group. I have two groups. So like one is proud to be a Bostonian. So I think it's like 1,000 people in there. And then another one is just like the official Purely Boston official group. And that has I think that has 2,000 members in there too. That's actually another asset too. So that I totally forgot about, 2 Facebook pages, the massive Facebook page, 2 Facebook groups, the massive Facebook page, the Instagram page, obviously 5 years of customer data, and then also a large email list.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I mean, think about that. Whoever's listening is like, he just created his own closed network, like broadcast station on Facebook, Instagram, and now he owns the email data. So essentially, if you want to sell something that catches fire, you can make another 84K, 100K, 200K as you keep building this whole entire list, because now you're onto something really big.
Yep, so, absolutely. And that's kind of how like the agency stuff, because I've always been e-commerce, and I kind of, when I joined in with you and Cody at the start of this year, or actually I think it was around the holidays when I joined in with you guys, I knew that serving and helping local Boston businesses, there was a huge stream that I was basically a huge stream of money that I was like leaving open. And and also helping restaurant owners and brick and mortar businesses and local business owners really get great results and scale their business online. I do get some good satisfaction that makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So it's kind of like I almost call it like the Trojan horse agency model, where I created the community and the network, and then I created my own show that I basically like record, do some post editing, and then drop it on the Facebook page or Facebook group and Instagram. Collectively right there, that's 10,000 views for free, right? Then I could show it to Mr. Restaurant Owner, who's literally ready to fall out of his chair, and say, and I always make the joke, oh, that's the power of the Purely Boston community. And then it's much easier to have those conversations that he knows you're real. He knows you've created with your own 2 hands this huge powerhouse community in the city, and basically you can help him get more customers, more Bostonians in his bar, in his restaurant, at his ice cream shop, to to do business with him. So that's kind of how the agency and how I linked up with you guys too. So there's kind of two models in my business for revenue.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that I'll help you with right after. Yeah, like I mean, I already have so many different ideas that you can just monetize without changing what you're doing or confusing your focus. That are kind of like simple tweaks and things that can be done side by side without kind of fucking up the e-commerce like vision and path that you're just clobbering right now. So that's amazing. But yeah, I appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on here.
Yeah.
It's always good to always connect with you too. I'm probably going to hit you up and talk about doing a training and maybe even a masterclass on building a page, because there's so many group growth types of people saying build this group. It's draining, it's frustrating, and sometimes it doesn't work. But you built a page, which is not what a lot of people say don't do. Fuck your page, focus on a group. But what you've done is you built a local page that just freaking thrived and just kind of proved everybody else wrong.
Yeah. And I always argue the people that don't do this, oh, have you built a huge, massive Facebook page? Or because with the Facebook page, you can link a group and use it to push people everywhere else. You can monetize so much better. A group, you can't go backwards to a page. It's a group, right? So I do the page, and you can link the group to the page, and then you can basically, post stuff, on the page to push people elsewhere. There's just there's different slick ways I've done over the years to put the links like in the comments or I do a lot of, I comment, put a product, comment yes below if you want to buy this, like very clear. Like if you're commenting, you're like, we're associating your yes comment to the word buy. So like, obviously, 9 out of 10 people that comment never end up buying because they click on the link, they blah, 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 they see the price, blah, blah, blah. But it does work. I mean, there was a new product yesterday that I posted on the page, found it online, got approved for wholesaling, posted on the Facebook page, did the old comment. There was hundreds of comments, commented back and forth. Yesterday I think we did sold three sales, for basically zero ad spend. And now it's ready to start having my team build the sales funnel out and then start really scaling that with throwing some, targeted Facebook ads and traffic behind it. So
yeah, I was going to say that your Facebook ads become even more powerful because you're targeting people who only know your name brand by targeting page likes or people with friends.
Yeah.
So that's how much more optimal your advertising will even be.
Yeah, you can do cool lookalike audiences off of page engagement that I don't believe you can do off of groups and stuff. So like you can do custom audiences of people that engage with your posts, engage with your page. And then from those custom audiences, make lookalike audiences along with like pixel audiences and stuff like that. And, I've heard, just through the e-commerce community that the better your page is for engagement, and it's just a healthy page. You're always posting stuff. People are liking, commenting, sharing. That when you run ads from that page, you're rewarded much better with a lower CPM and better metrics.
Well, I'm gonna take this out. We're doing a masterclass on this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Page. Yeah, we'll do like a or so masterclass. So if you guys want in on the masterclass, #masterclass, we'll send you guys the link once we do it, and we'll show you guys how to create your own broadcast station and what to do, what to post, how frequent, take all the uncertainties away. Because look at what Jonathan's been able to do here. I mean, this group is this is your retirement plan. I mean, you can like, I see you posting shit, drinking coffees outside in Boston. You're doing your thing wherever the fuck you feel like.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't even have to tell people if you come visit Cali and talk. You can be talking about Boston out there, out here.
Yeah, and it's more of I guess over the years that kind of like posting content that on a Boston page, that if I am in Cali I used to think that there was a disconnect, but there's actually not a disconnect because people are connecting with the person behind the page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just perfect example, ClickFunnels, right? Russell Brunson is, the front man, the hype man. People associate ClickFunnels with Russell Brunson, and Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels. So, it's the same thing I've been doing much better over the years with doing more video and showing my face and showing there's a real person, Jonathan, behind Purely Boston, and I'm out in the city meeting with business owners and shipping fun Boston products, other Bostonians that no longer live in the city and stuff, which there is a huge community of that too, that our page and our content and our products basically connect people, Bostonians, back to the city that are no longer living in the city. So, and then there's tons of other great cities in America that it's the same thing, Chicago, LA, Detroit, Austin, that people used to grow up, went to work, school, and they loved the city, but then, life had different plans for them, and they got allocated, relocated somewhere else. But that passion and that love for the city is still, inside them, and it's kind of how they identify themselves. People are extremely passionate about their roots, their city roots, their state roots. I've always had a lot of success online with, selling state and city products.
Definitely. No, that's awesome, man. Congratulations on like the success and the journey, because I think you can look back and appreciate those difficult moments, because now a lot of things have been more clear. So that's fucking amazing to see where you've gone from and where you are today.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Right, thanks for having me, Rahul.
What's up?
So thanks for having me.
Oh, totally. And then for those of you guys out there, thank you guys for engaging and being a part of this. Drop as many comments as you can. We'll reach a lot more people. And then I made an offer earlier. If you guys want a free 15-minute call, knock it out. I don't bite. Yes, I'm going to make an offer on that call to join the GSD group. But most importantly, if you have any burning questions, I'll give you everything you want. Ask me anything. How do I make a sale? What should I say in a sales call? What's your triage process? What's your discovery process? What's your bank account look like? Whatever it is you want to ask, do it. It's free. And the only person it's going to hurt is you if you don't take advantage of it and you need it. So just want to throw that out there. I welcome it. And again, I'll make an offer if it's a good fit only. If I don't think you're a good fit, I won't. Anyways, thanks guys. Thanks, Jonathan. I'm going to hit you up. We're going to map this masterclass out and make it happen sooner than later.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
All right,
awesome.
All right, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Later, guys.